Hi everyone, this is Elaine. Welcome to Flat Earth for Dummies 101. Definition of dummy, indoctrinated in globe from birth. A spinning globe is only true in fairy tales. Only the truth will set you free. The lies were out to get me, to feast upon my brain. Freemasonic wormholes were to blame. Then I saw the way. Now I'm a flat earther. There is no curve, no globe in my mind. The earth is flat. We're the believers, don't eat the deceivers, those who lie.
Storm's rotation is due to something called the Coriolis effect, which is a phenomenon that causes fluids like water and air to curve as they travel across or above Earth's surface. Here's the basic idea. Earth is constantly spinning around its axis from west to east. But because Earth is a sphere and wider in the middle, points on the equator are actually spinning faster around the axis than points near the poles. So imagine you were standing in Texas and had a magic paper airplane that could travel hundreds of miles. If you threw your airplane directly northward, you might think it would land straight north, maybe somewhere in Nebraska. But Texas is actually spinning around Earth's axis faster than Nebraska is. If you threw your airplane directly northward, you might think it would land straight north, maybe somewhere in Nebraska. But Texas is actually spinning around Earth's axis faster than Nebraska is, because it's closer to the equator. That means that the paper airplane is spinning faster as well, and when you throw it, that spinning momentum is conserved. So if you threw your paper airplane in a straight line toward the north, it would land somewhere to the right of Nebraska, maybe in Delaware. So from your point of view in Texas, the plane would have taken a curved path to the right. The opposite would happen in the southern hemisphere. An object traveling from the equator to the south would get deflected to the left.
Now this is easy. This is shown easily on these maps here. Everything is deflected the same way. It's just a matter of your perspective. And you will find plenty of videos from regular science people that will say the same thing. Here's the bottom line here. It's always deflected to the east. Always deflected to the east, which is the direction of spin, supposedly. It's that simple. It's a matter of where are you looking at it from. That's all there is. There's no effect. It's just where your vantage point is, perspective.
There it was. And if there's tense, right? Everybody's silent, and the ball comes up, and it careens off the left upright and goes in for the win.
Wow.
And I said,
I remember this.
That's what I'm saying.
I remember this
That's
tweet.
what I'm saying. So I'm there and I said, wait, the angle of this, how long is it? So I checked the stadium on its configuration, what's longitude and latitude, and I said, I did a quick calculation, and I tweeted, the winning field goal in that game was aided by a 1/3 of an inch deflection to the right from Earth's rotation.
That is the nerdiest tweet I've ever heard in my life.
Okay, as soon as you hear the shot, hit the start on my phone, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Cabron.
What?
Okay, go.
Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, wait. Ready?
Ready.
Fire in the hole.
Nothing, cabrón. Wait. You hit that? Yeah.
Speed of the Earth at different latitudes, and here in North America we're around 30, 40 degrees, something like that. So I was gonna give it the benefit of the doubt and go with 700 miles an hour. So that's between 40 and 50 degrees. The closer they are to the equator, the worse it is for the globe. But so if you go, said 700 miles an hour, divide that by 60 minutes, that'll give you 11.6 miles per minute. Divide that by 60 seconds. That means the Earth is moving at 0.19 miles per second. And they said that bullet was in the air for 110 seconds. A minute and 50 seconds is 1/10, if that's right. So multiply that times 110. That bullet should have landed 21 miles away from their location. If the Coriolis effect was real, and snipers had to account for it. They say everybody's heard the story that the sniper has to account for Coriolis. Complete, utter nonsense. If there was Coriolis, that bullet would have landed 21 miles away. They never would have heard it hit back towards them.
Give one tip to Steven Gostkowski, the kicker for the Patriots, of how he makes sure to get that ball. Like, is it an angle he's attacking the ball
now
at?
I don't know the air currents.
Right.
There won't be sort of northerly winds that will interfere with the ball.
But there's that damn rotation of the Earth.
Yeah, and now I have to look to see what the orientation of the stadium is. If the stadium is oriented approximately north-south, you want to lean left by a fraction of an inch.
Hear that, Stephen?
Because the Earth will then bring it back to the right for you.
It's the Coriolis effect is a huge logical fallacy. Now, there is a thing called the Coriolis effect, but it certainly doesn't apply to the world because the world isn't spinning. And when you look for evidence of the Coriolis effect in nature, it becomes clear that like airplanes and none of these flying objects adhere to this force. However, like Neil deGrasse said, football punters, experience the Coriolis of force. Snipers do, but artillerymen don't.
This is one thing people need to understand, that if you believe in the globe Earth model, then you believe that the atmosphere moves along with the spinning Earth, which if that's the case, then there is no Coriolis effect because there is no frame of reference that's changing. I mean, in that merry-go-round, the ball seemed to divert because the merry-go-round was spinning in a still atmosphere. So to believe that the atmosphere is attached to the Earth, then there is no Coriolis of force. And then if the atmosphere is attached to the Earth, you have to believe that when a helicopter just hovers above the ground, that as the Earth and the air is moving, that it's carrying the helicopter with it. That the helicopter's moving along because of some gravity or some. It's so ridiculous that anybody would ever believe that. And again, if that's not the case, then of course, if the Earth was spinning to the east and flights were going from New York to LA, they would be entirely quicker than from LA to New York. And it's not that way. It's the opposite. So I mean, to picture that, like a plane takes off from California and be like being held backwards, it's like going to be carried in the atmosphere, but backwards as it's flying forwards. It's just so ridiculous that we would ever believe that. And the Coriolis force, what they're showing here, is true. But it's true because there is no attached atmosphere to whatever moving apparatus they're on.
It's like, why is it that if a plane is going north-south and is landing on north-south on a runway, and the runway, if say it's near the equator, is running at 1,040 miles an hour roughly, why doesn't the plane crash and die? What should be happening with any airliner that is landing or any airplaner that's landing on a north-south runway, especially anywhere near the equator, just to accentuate this, it would literally crash and burn. Because you've literally got the runway, slicing by it at 1,000 miles an hour. So it's funny, you just you just have these points of contention that are always entered into evidence when it supports the heliocentric model and is ignored when it's not.
A spinning globe is only true in fairy tales. Only the truth will set you free. The lies were out to get me, to feast upon my brain. Free Masonic wormholes were to blame. Then I saw the way. Now I'm a flat earther. There is no curve, no globe in my mind. The earth is flat. We're the believers, don't eat the deceivers, those who lie. I thought the globe was more or less a given thing. The more I saw, the more was fake. Was the moon a junkyard, the ISS a sham? When I wanted answers, I got spam. Then I saw the way. Now I'm a flat earther. There is no curve, no globe in my mind. The earth is flat. We're the believers, don't eat the deceivers, those who lie.